What is up, guys? Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you 3 great Minecraft traps to protect yourself from mobs and other players. The first one I got right here is more intended for survival map because it's not self-resetting, and it takes a pretty high building for it to fit inside, or if you're underground. So basically what it does is it drops an anvil on the player's head, killing them instantly. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate. So you walk inside, you're unexpecting, and right above you are dropped all these anvils. Now originally I was planning it to have all anvils fall on every single block, but that would give the player no chance of survival, so I did about half of it in kind of a random pattern here. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the trap and go over how the redstone works. Alright, so this guy is relatively simple to the other traps I'm going to show you. Basically you just have these 2 pressure plates here. It doesn't matter which one you step on. They'll both set off this redstone that's underneath it, causing this torch right here to turn off, which will cause this one to turn on. This one will then turn off, and this pattern will continue until you get to the top. So this stepping on that pressure plate will result in this torch turning on. These pistons will then pop out, grab this, and pull back. This will set off a chain reaction, causing these torches to break, which will then drop all of these anvils right here from a height high enough to kill the player underneath, if he or she is underneath one. And then it's just copy on this side. So that's pretty much it for this one. Really easy to build and good for an adventure map. Alright, so what you're seeing now is the wall around, concentrate on the wall around the house. So what this wall does is it automatically goes up and down depending on what time of day it is. So as we can see, it's becoming morning, and the wall will actually drop. And if we transition on to evening time, as it's becoming late at night, the wall will raise again. And also you can see the lights going around, and this is all controlled simply by daylight sensors. Alright, so here we have the rising wall, unmasked. Now, it looks complicated at first, but it really is just a pattern. So you have 2 daylight sensors here. If you don't know a lot about daylight sensors, I suggest looking them up right now. I'll have a link in the description. But here are what obviously controls when the wall rises and closes. Now, it's very important to look at the distance between the daylight sensor and the first repeater. We have 4 here and 5 down here. So for this wall, it's very important to have the bottom layer rise first. And all it's doing is it's going through here. We're looking at the bottom layer. It's going through here, powering all these torches all the way down, and to keep them off. When it gets too dark outside, the power will get cut off here, and then all the way around this will pop up because these torches will turn back on. Now obviously redstone can only reach 15 blocks after hitting a repeater. This is obviously more than 15 blocks all the way around, so we have these right here, which just take the power and you know, recharge it like a redstone repeater does. Take a look at this and make sure you copy it, because you have to stick with this because these are right next to each other. You'll figure that out if you're building this on your own, why this has to be like this. And this is just the same exact thing run 1 layer down. So we can kind of see. I'm probably messing. Yeah, I just messed something up. Let me go ahead and fix that. But it's just the same thing underneath there. So we got that going all the way around. So this will cut off first. This first layer will rise up. Then this will cut off second, and the second layer will rise up. And it's just the same thing on top of the other. So yeah, if you want it rising up earlier than what I have it to, all you gotta do is push these back a little bit further, give this more of a gap. Just make sure this has one more between here and here than the one above it. And if you want it later, just reduce the gap. So that's pretty much it for this. It's really not that hard. You just gotta once you get this built all the way around, that's all the difficulty there is. It just takes time, not a lot of thought. Now, if any of you were wondering about the lights in the inside, It's just using the most basic and obvious function of a daylight sensor. Basically all it does is you have a torch here. Got a torch right here, which it's powering right now. When it gets too dark outside, that torch will turn on, and it'll just go around the whole thing, turning on all the lights. Alright guys, so I have one more trap to show you. This trap is my favorite. It's the home defense trap. It's designed to protect your house if you were to leave it and you're afraid of getting robbed. This one's virtually undetectable from if you're just walking in the house. So here's my representation of a common house. We have a chest right here which is full of your valuables. This lever over here, you can obviously have this placed. I just have it in this hole over here, unnoticeable, is what activates the security system. So this light indicates that we're online. So now I'm the guy who owns the house. I'm leaving to go get wood or something, and now pretend some bad guy comes in to steal your stuff. So he's gonna walk in the house, no one's home, goes to steal stuff from your chest, and gets dropped down here. Now normally this actually wouldn't be filled in. Anyway, so they'll fall on this, and the fall will kill them. The fall will also set off these pressure plates. Now you'll notice these are wood. These could be stone. It doesn't make a difference. It's preference here. So I'll explain why about that in a minute. But now we can hear a blinking noise, or that noise from that note block. And if we take a look outside, we can see there's two lights. We got the blinking, you got the blinking light, and then you got the solid light, and they represent different things. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, so we don't have to listen to that repetitive noise. So now it'll all reset. Now, from what you guys saw, it was pretty undetectable. So the first light means that someone set off the trap. So if the guy walks in your home and evades the trap, doesn't fall in the hole, this light will turn on. This light, the blinking one, means that something fell in the trap, and then that's also indicated by the noise. So if you're mining or something and then you hear the blinking noise, then you'll know to come up, and if you're far away and you see the blinking light, you'll know to run home real quick. Now what I was talking about in the bottom of the pit, now the fall will kill you if you're not on creative mode, but the bottom of the pit you can have a choice between wooden pressure plates and stone pressure plates. Stone pressure plates will not be set off from just an item, but I want my trap to set off if someone were to drop something down there, so I know to go down there in the first place. So that's why I use wood. If you want only players being able to set it off, players and mobs, then you can use stone. Alright, so now we're in the house with the floors torn up so we can see the redstone underneath. Now it is pretty complicated, especially relative to the other two I showed you, but just stick with me and we'll see if we can understand this. Now there are three main circuits. We got one circuit going to this light, another going to that light, and then we have the most complex, in my opinion, which is the one controlling this retracting floor. So we'll go ahead and start with the retracting floor, since that's the most important component of the trap. Now you can see some stuff going on, but I went ahead and rebuilt it over here so you can see a little bit clearer. So here is my switch, which represents the button. This is a solid switch, so we can look at things. It'll actually hold it open instead of having it just open and shut behind you. But so power comes in, it breaks off into the bottom layer and then the top layer. The top layer controls these pistons that are horizontal, and the bottom layer controls these pistons that are vertical. What's controlling them is actually inside the hole, which is all these torches here. So power to the bottom layer will power the blocks. Now if we had somehow had X-ray vision to see through, we'd see the torches there, and this would power that block and cause the torch to turn off. The torch would turn off, and then these pistons would retract, pulling down this block of wood. Afterwards, we have a slight delay on these, so it has time for these guys to drop. The horizontal pistons will pull back everything. So we can go ahead and watch what happens here. So those first drop, the other ones pull back, and whoever's standing right here will fall into the hole. Or if you want to have lava pit or whatever you want down there, I just like a clean hole because it doesn't destroy the items they're holding and it still kills them. So there's that. So this represents the wall back here, if you're wondering. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of scan over this for a few seconds so you can get a look at everything. The difference in delay, we have a redstone repeater on minimum delay for the bottom layer, these torches right here. And then we have the redstone that powers the horizontal torches, or horizontal pistons, have one less than full delay. So let's go ahead and go back over to the house and check on the other two circuits. So we see upon pressing this button, which activates the trap, power splits here. This actually gives a long delay, enough for the burglar to get over to your chest before it sets off. So we got this going around. Now how this lever over here is able to control whether it's on or off, because right now pressing the button will do absolutely nothing. You'll see it'll go around here, and then once it gets to this point it will die. The lever causes piston to pop out and complete the circuit. It also completes the circuit for these both lights, so these won't go off when your trap is not activated. So we can see it'll go around here, and then it'll go into this thing powering this whole deal. It'll also then split and go to this. Now it comes in here, and then it will go over here and power this light. Now the way a button which only lasts a second will keep this on indefinitely is this thing right here. It just keeps going in a circle, but the current's long enough to complete the circuit, and it keeps powering itself before it has a second to shut down. So go ahead and press it just so you can see. I mean, you probably understand this concept, but I'm just going to show it real quick. So as we can see, this becomes solid and will never turn off unless the circuit is broken, which will happen when you hit the lever and the piston retracts. So that's all there is to that. This one, however, is slightly different. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this again. So if we look down here to the bottom, you fall down to these pressure plates. Now underneath them is just a floor of redstone, which will power if you step on any of them. The power will then proceed to this circuit right here, which will take the power, will take the amount of time you stand on these pressure plates, whether you're standing there for 10 seconds, whether you're standing there forever, or whether you're standing there on there for like 0.5 seconds. It'll take that amount and set it to the length of the delay here. Now if I want a longer delay, I could put more in series with each other, but I just have one because I only want it being that long. So if I were to step on this forever, it would still only be a tiny, this is 0.4 seconds is what the equivalent of a full redstone repeater is. So if I were to stand on here forever, it would only be 0.4 seconds long. I'll show you guys by redirecting this over here. I'll just use a redstone lamp to show you what I mean. So right now it's on. Now I'll go ahead. Now I'll go ahead and step on the pressure plate, and it was hard to see there, but the light just blinked real quick. So I'll go ahead and step on it again, and no matter how long I'm sitting on these, we still have power from the pressure plates, but that will not change in any way. So every time I step on it, it'll just blink real quick, and that's it. So if I increase the delay here, it'll stay off for a little bit longer. Alright, so that's what this is. So I'll just give you a second to look at this so you can copy it down, experiment on your own how it works. But anyway, after that, power goes up here through this, just like I showed you with the first trap. It just goes up here. These switch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, till we get up here. Then, hold on, I screwed this up when I was just messing with stuff down there. Anyway, then the power will get up here, and this will go round and around and around. It'll pulse. The pulse will be short enough from this down here that it won't complete and become solid like the one over there. This will keep going around, and it'll power this and this light and cause them to blink, 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 like we saw before. So that's what's going on there. I'm just gonna scan over here. Hopefully you guys understood. I don't want to go on too long going into super detail, but so yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Alright guys, I hope this was helpful. If it was, go ahead and leave a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you really liked it, you can go ahead and subscribe and check out some of my other videos. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, so thanks for watching.